We've basically been in Northern California since the 4th grade. 2 kids, Tucker and Brittany. Brittany's the oldest.
I don't feel like we had the normal sibling rivalries like most siblings do because of Tucker. He was just really easygoing.
Tucker's always been the intellectual one. He never got in any trouble, just the smartest guy in the room, and he still is. It was October of 2020, and I kept getting this phone call from a Florida number. And it was his roommate saying, Tucker's in the hospital. And I said, what? He's had a brain hemorrhage. And then the next thing you know, the surgeon called me and he's saying, you need to get down here. Like basically your son's in a coma. And finally we found out that he's got this rare AVM, ulterior venous malformation. It's basically like a group of blood vessels and arteries all spaghettied into a ball in the brain. Tucker was asymptomatic, so he had no indication that it happened. And then from there, it was a 1-year journey of him in different rehab places.
After that, as he was slowly coming out of the coma, they were explaining to us that he was locked in and that he could still understand and cognitively was aware and was the same Tucker as before.
The other facility that Tucker was at was not even giving us the option of therapy, basically wanting to put him in a skilled nursing facility. And I had to basically have a pointed conversation with her saying he's not going into a nursing home. Not now, not ever.
I was looking on Instagram, some people his age going to these amazing therapy hospitals, thinking like, okay, he's got this, if he can get to somewhere like this. So started looking into it and found Craig. So then she called and like I said, the representative was out the next day to visit Tucker and flew him out that next week.
When we got to Craig, within 15 minutes, they had a buzzer set up for him so that he could call the nurse. And I thought, thank God for this place.
Craig was night and day, like therapy all day, in speech. We're trying to figure out a way to communicate with him because before we had set up just blinking his eye was yes and no. But then all of a sudden he lifts up his good hand and starts doing something and we're like, I don't know what you're doing. And Kelly's like, I think he's doing sign language. Tucker remembered from when he was like in elementary school, the sign language alphabet, and then was able to communicate with us that way.
Because I've never seen a team work so cohesively there. They had us spending the night in the hospital to make sure that when we went home, we knew how to give him his medications. We knew how to clean his trach. One of the caseworkers came in one day and said, there's a man named Jeff Richardson and his son went through something similar to your son. Would you mind if we gave him your phone number? And at that point I thought, wow, somebody to talk to that has gone through something as rare as what my son's going through right now.
Good job, Brian.
Brian is probably a more complex brain injury. He's quadriplegic and he's nonverbal. Frankly, there's no way we could have cared for Brian at home. He would have probably had to have gone to a nursing home or some sort of skilled nursing home, which clearly that's not something that we wanted to happen. It's such a stressful thing. You're getting cared for so well for so many months to now also face the reality of do all that on your own. It's a very difficult thing to deal with. It's just unfathomable. You just can't imagine the amount of work that goes into that. You know, the reason we started the Going Home Fund was, you know, having met people, seeing some of the GoFundMes that some of the other families had, we realized that we have to go really be on a mission to go help other people. And so in October 2020, I remember waking up in the middle of the night and I said, okay, tomorrow's the day that we're gonna go figure this out. And that was the beginning of the Going Home Fund.
What you don't know as a patient and a family is that the insurance company doesn't want to pay for medical necessities that you need when you get home.
Yeah, our house is definitely a challenge for a wheelchair. The rooms on the first floor are small and we don't have large hallways. His room was a challenge. We had to open up a wall while we were remodeling the bathroom for him so that we could actually get a wheelchair into the shower. We basically put a doorway from his room into the shower stall.
And all that the foundation helped us with.
With Craig's help, they've been able to do here at home and have him in his own house. being able to do things that he would do before, like go to trivia.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Millwright Millhouse. It's a marvelous night for trivia night. Thanks for coming out.
Trivia night was something we would do with Tucker before his injury. So me and like a group of like 6 or 7 friends would go, and then Tucker would carry the team and answer all of the questions. So once he was able to sign and speak a little bit again, like we've been able to go do stuff like that.
5th place. 22 points. Stroke of genius.
The Richardson family was a godsend to us because nobody knows where insurance companies will draw the line and where families are expected to fill in the gap. I think that's the importance of, this being the 5-year anniversary of this particular fund. We need to do this every year. We need to talk about this and bring awareness to everybody. You don't even know what you need. And thankfully for Craig, they prepared us well on what we would need, and then the foundation helped pay for it.
The fund has had such an amazing impact on families, and we were just the ones to help kick it off, right? To those of you who have helped out, we really want to thank you. You'll see the impact that it's had, and I know that you'll appreciate and feel good about that.
Thank you for all your time and